And welcome to ENZYMENTAL. I'm Jason Carter, and today I wanted to tell you about a factor in weight gain that isn't often considered, and that is the presence of viruses and bacteria. It may be hard to believe, but bacteria and viruses can actually cause weight gain. And so there are a couple ways that this happens. First of all, viruses increase the uptake of glucose from the blood and convert that glucose to fat. Viruses then increase the creation of fat molecules through fatty acid synthase, which is a metabolic enzyme that actually creates fat. And also, viruses enable the creation of more fat cells to hold all the fat by influencing the conversion of stem cells, which can turn into either bone or fat cells into fat. And as you'll remember, I've told you before about the amazingly reciprocal relationship between fat and bone. And that quite simply is that fat and bone are both made by the same stem cells in bone marrow. So in this way, the fat cells that exist are getting bigger, and the body is creating more of them when viruses are present. And so what about bacteria? How do bacteria extract energy and cause fat to be stored? Gut microbes have enzymes that humans don't manufacture. And these gut microbes can consequently digest parts of plants that our own digestive system cannot. One of those enzymes that they produce is cellulase, which breaks down cellulose, which is a primary fiber in plants. So these enzymes allow the bacteria to break down polysaccharides, which again are complex sugars and starches that our bodies would otherwise find non-digestible, and turn these complex sugars into simple sugars that we can easily absorb. So in this way, bacteria enable us to extract more calories from food than we can do on our own. And additionally, bacteria increase the number of capillaries in the small intestine, which allows for the increased absorption of food from the gut. So in effect, bacteria change our digestion in two ways. First, by improving the ability of the gut to absorb food, and then by increasing the amount of sugars extracted from the food. And beyond digestion, bacteria are also linked to a decrease in a protein called fasting-induced adipose factor, which suppresses the storage of fat. So by decreasing this critical factor, bacteria enable fat levels to increase. Obese individuals also have a higher amount of a particular gut bacteria called firmicutes and a lower amount of bacteroids, while lean individuals have the reverse of this. And so why this is important is that certain species of firmicutes are thought to be more efficient at breaking down starches and thus extracting more energy from food and passing less of it as waste. While this arrangement worked well for our Paleolithic ancestors who lived during times of frequent food shortages, in a modern context, this same dynamic is quite inconvenient. And so this, again, underscores the need to optimize your gut diversity as much as possible, and the best way to do that is to make sure that you're eating a diverse diet. Because every time you introduce a new fruit or vegetable or any kind of natural food to your gut microbes, this helps your gut to evolve. And the problem with most people today, unlike our ancient ancestors, is that we're eating a very limited diet, usually comprised of the same 7 or 8 macronutrient foods every day. So what you can do about this is that if you're trying to lose weight, in addition to exercise and keeping your blood sugar stable and getting the body to a new metabolic set point, which can take quite some time, is that one direct benefit of eating diversely is that you're eating lots of different vegetables and fruit, which contain prebiotics, which are fibers and starches that nourish and build and strengthen your gut microbes. Think of them as food for your natural probiotics in your microbiome. And this helps to promote satiety, which is that comfortable feeling of fullness, so you're not overeating. And also, eating a generous amount of prebiotics every day helps to support your levels of bacteroids. And an exponential increase in another beneficial bacteria known as Akkermansia mucophilia, typically just known as A. mucophilia. And this helps to restore the mucus gut barrier that can be disrupted by a high-fat diet. And when I talk about a high-fat diet, I'm referring to the fats that are generated from eating refined carbohydrates and sugar. So having a healthy mucus lining in our intestines creates a protective barrier, promotes healthy bacterial growth, increases innate immunity, and reduces the amount of toxins absorbed into the body. Ultimately, all of this improves overall metabolism, lowers inflammation and insulin resistance, and helps to reverse fat gain. So the high-fat diet that is typically associated with the standard American diet really does change your microbiome over time, and that can shift your whole gut function toward largely perpetual fat storage and severely decreased fat metabolism. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Carter, and I'll see you next time on ENZYMENTAL. Stay healthy.